Hey folks, it's John with KGTropicals.com. I'm here with my good friend Dave Warren. We've rounded third and we're heading home with this series about breeding the freshwater angelfish. This is part 7 where we're going to talk all about common problems and frequently asked questions. Now, the first thing I'm going to say, I'm going to speak on behalf of both of us here, is we are just two regular dudes sitting here talking about breeding freshwater angelfish. Dave has had a ton of success doing it. He's bred thousands and thousands of fish. We sell his fish. They sell really well. So he knows what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to tell you that him and I are the two foremost experts on breeding angels. There's probably a ton of people out there that know a whole lot more about this than we do, but we're still sharing with you our opinions on what has worked for us, what's worked for him. More him. I mean, I've only done it a couple of times. He's done it a whole lot more than me. So understand that this is just our opinion. This is just what we've decided to share with you. So there's nothing really to argue about. So, okay, let's get right into it then. Was there anything you wanted to add to that?
No.
Okay, good. I spoke on your behalf, okay?
Yeah.
The biggest question, there's a couple of big ones that people bring up to me all the time, and I'm not even a fish breeder, or a angel breeder. My angels keep spawning, but then they eat the eggs. So what do you say to somebody who has that happen?
Well, I give my angels one chance. If they eat them once, chances are they're going to eat them all the time. So after the first time that they've eaten the eggs, I remove the eggs. The biggest issue that I had when I started was, how do I get the eggs out of the breeding tank to put into the regular tank? Can I take them out of the water? Do they have to stay submerged? At first I tried to keep them all completely submerged and made huge messes. But then I discovered that, you know, the easiest way is just turn the slate. If they laid on slate, just turn the slate upside down so the eggs are facing down, and just pick them up and put them into whatever you're going to transport them into. Move them into a prepared 5-gallon tank. It's already got a heater in it. It's 80 degrees. It's got a foam filter. It's got an air stone, so we got good circulation in there. And I do use malachite blue. I use methylene blue.
Malachite green's good product too.
Yeah, but used for different things. But methylene blue, and a lot of people say that it will stop fungus. It really won't, but what it does is it enables the eggs to utilize the oxygen much more efficiently, and I get a lot better hatch rates. Something I do use to help fight the fungus, though, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but I discovered this a while back, is I use shrimp. I put shrimp in the tanks, and they basically take care of the eggs. They keep the fungus off of them, and they'll even dispose of the unviable eggs. The downside is the methylene blue will kill the shrimp.
Oh.
Not 100% of the time, but most of the time. So that's why I raise shrimp. But they do a very, very good job on tending the eggs.
He's not saying they're going to take the place of the parents, okay? He's not saying shrimp are going to raise your eggs, but they will help in the process. Right. So you don't have to take your eyedropper and remove the fungused eggs and all that kind of stuff. All right, well, so let's take it a step further, because another question that I've gotten is, I was so excited, my eggs got to the wiggler stage, and then they all just died. So, I mean, does that mean that the operator's doing something wrong, or, what's going on with that?
Well, assuming genetics are good and the eggs are healthy and they don't have impurities of some sort that are going to cause them to die, then usually that I almost never lose them from the wiggler stage. So it's usually a lack of me maintaining the tank properly. So either the water's too hot, the water's too cold, you don't have the proper movement, or you just haven't changed the water, because you do have to do water changes on these tanks,
even while they're still eggs.
Even while they're still eggs.
Okay.
So that usually is put on the person raising the eggs.
Do your job, and your fry won't die. Now, one of the things we haven't really talked about, and many people don't talk about it, is angels are not necessarily angels. I mean, they are beautiful fish, and they pretty much get along with everybody, but when they pair off and they're ready to spawn, they can get downright nasty. So your way of combating that is using ditherfish of all different kinds. So talk about that and why you use that and all that, ditherfish.
Well, the angel pairs will literally fight with each other in between spawnings, sometimes right after a spawning. So what I do, like this tank back here, it's hard to see, but I've got some endlers, guppies, and some cories in there. And what they do is they distract. The fish still fight, but as they fight, the other fish move around and it distracts them, so they chase the other fish and leave each other alone. Before I started doing that, they would really tear each other up to the point to where I would separate them sometimes. And when I was exclusively doing black lace angels, they would damage each other so much that if I tried to show the parent, they just looked awful. Once I started putting the fish in there, it really helped a lot. And I use the guppies and endlers. I also use autos, because autos will eat brown mold, and they're so fast that the angels can't catch them. So they work right, and they're inexpensive. So.
Well, I mean, I can't think of any more really big questions. Do you know of any?
No.
Okay. Well, then we must have covered everything then. That's good. So I guess that means that this thing has to come to an end. So, Dave, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you opening up your house to me. We've been here all day doing this, but it's worth it. It's been a lot of fun picking your brain on this. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for helping us out and sharing with my audience. It's not the biggest audience in the world, but thank you for sharing with us how to do all of this. And
You're welcome.
time to go get started with breeding angels now. Everybody's ready now, right? Now, if you have any questions or any comments or anything like that, you can certainly put them down in the comments section. You can email me, KGTropicals@gmail.com. Dave's not going to be available to answer any questions, and he's happy about that because he knows that there's going to be a lot of them. So it will be me that'll be answering questions and things like that. And this series has been a lot of fun, so thank you guys so much for watching. Say goodbye, Dave.
Goodbye.
Thanks again to Dave, and we'll see you on the next series.